Right now at noon, Speaker Pelosi reveals who will prosecute the case against the president in the upcoming impeachment trial. We'll tell you who's on the team. And the Packers will play in the NFC Championship game this Sunday, how local bars and restaurants are gearing up for the big game.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
We are following breaking news out of Tennessee. A sheriff's spokesperson says law enforcement is responding to an active shooter at the McGee-Tyson Air Base that's just south of Knoxville. This is a developing story. We'll continue to keep you updated on our newscast and on Channel3000.com. Well, a little snow has been hitting the Madison area this morning. Let's head to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Mark. That's right. This is the 6th day in a row that we have seen some sort of wintry precipitation falling out of the sky. We're watching light snow and freezing drizzle right now, which means we are keeping a very close eye on the roadways, too. I think as we continue to go through the rest of the afternoon, most of the roads will be in good shape, but some of those side roads could certainly have some issues, so use caution. I'm going to keep the yellow light on going through the rest of this evening, especially for that evening commute. Still, though, it's a very wintry scene out there. A few flurries and freezing drizzle. We're watching those temperatures closely as well. Madison at 29, Janesville above freezing right now at 34. Mid-20s as you work your way just towards the north. High-resolution Doppler shows you the light snow that we see to the south, along with light snow towards the north. That should stay well north of us, but we keep a very close eye on the weekend now for the next chance of accumulating snow. We'll talk timing and impacts in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Chris. The nearly 1 month-long standoff over when the articles of impeachment are sent to the Senate ends today. Natalie Brand has more details on the next phase of the Democrats' case against President Trump from Capitol Hill.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi named the team that will argue the case against President Trump during the Senate impeachment trial.
For trying to influence a foreign government for his own personal and political benefit.
Speaker Pelosi chose 7 House members as impeachment managers, including Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler and Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff.
The emphasis is on comfort level in the courtroom. The emphasis is making the strongest possible case to protect and defend our Constitution.
The full House has to approve the managers, and that vote is expected soon. Early this evening, the articles of impeachment will be physically walked from the House side of the Capitol to the Senate, where the trial is expected to get underway next week.
This is the only body that can consider all factors presented by the House, decide what has or has not been proven.
Speaker Pelosi withheld the articles of impeachment for nearly a month. During that time, new information has come to light. Last night, the House Intelligence Committee released text messages and documents from Lev Parnas, an indicted businessman who helped the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, pressure Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
These documents are important. We have only obtained a very small sample of the universe of documents that the president is withholding.
It was President Trump's phone call last summer with the president of Ukraine that triggered the impeachment inquiry.
Impeach the president of the United States over a perfect phone call. It's the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on our country.
The newly revealed text messages also suggest Parnas and his associates were tracking the movements of then U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, as they sought to have her removed from her post. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And 6 Democratic presidential candidates met last night in the first debate of 2020, their last meeting before the Iowa caucuses. The candidates debated health care, climate change, and the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal and foreign policy. Today, Senators Sanders, Warren, and Klobuchar will be back in Washington preparing for the impeachment trial, while Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, and others will stay in Iowa campaigning. A silver alert has been issued for a missing McFarland man. Officials say 60-year-old James Clint was last seen leaving an assisted living center in McFarland Tuesday morning. Officials are concerned he may not be able to maintain his health without his medications. Anyone with information about Clint's location asked to call the McFarland Police Department. Sauk County health officials say there have been a recent spike in suspected opioid overdoses in the county. The department's health services says 6 non-fatal opioid overdoses have reported to Sauk County hospitals since December 8th. Health officials are not saying what specifically is the cause for the overdoses, but mention that so many overdoses in a short period of time often indicate that illegal drugs being sold in the area are very strong and are more likely to cause an overdose. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections says a sex offender is released from prison. Officials say 58-year-old Richard Bong was released on yesterday. Beloit police say Bong was placed at 1216 Portland Avenue in Beloit, a temporary living placement location. He was convicted on 3 counts of child pornography. He will remain on supervision until 2024 and is required to register with the Wisconsin Sex Offender Registry. A Marshall teen who was reported missing Tuesday morning has returned home. In a Facebook post, the Marshall Police Department said 16-year-old Lucas Wills was last seen leaving his home on Overlook Terrace about 10 o'clock Sunday night. Police did not say where he was found or what kind of condition he was in. Search efforts are underway in Pakistan after avalanches, freezing temperatures, and flash flooding has killed dozens of people. At least 60 people are dead, and the toll is expected to rise, with many still missing. Much of the devastation is in the Pakistan-controlled Kashmir, where heavy snow and rainfall triggered landslides and flooding. The military is using helicopters to evacuate people stranded in rural areas. Other choppers are dropping food and survival kits until more help arrives. President Trump signs the first phase of a trade deal with China today, easing tensions with the world's second-largest economy. The deal is expected to suspend U.S. tariff increases on China's exports to the U.S. in exchange for Beijing increasing orders on soybeans, pork, and other U.S. farm products. Federal prosecutors say attorney Michael Avenatti was arrested for violating conditions of his bail by committing multiple state and federal crimes while awaiting trial. Avenatti was arrested late last night at a state bar court hearing in Los Angeles, where lawyers were seeking to prevent him from practicing law because he allegedly stole from clients. Avenatti is expected to appear in an Orange County courtroom today. The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County are opening their latest club. The club celebrated the grand opening at their newest facility in Sun Prairie today. It'll offer both early childhood and school-age programming for around 190 young people. We'll have more on the groundbreaking in our later newscast and on channel3000.com. Well, Packers fans aren't the only ones excited about the championship game this weekend. Local bar and restaurant owners say they're seeing a boost in business as well. After the holidays, business usually slows down for a lot of local watering holes, but having the Packers still playing now, winning the NFC North and now competing for the NFC crown, is helping keep what would be a slower January weekends really packed.
If you want to get a table in the bar area or even a stool right up at the bar and not have to be in the dining room, where we also have TVs, you can still see the game, but it's just a little bit different in there. Definitely come before the game starts. We also have a hockey tournament in town this weekend, so we might be a little crazy busy with that too. So it always helps to make reservations. We take them anytime for any number of people.
And starting Friday, we will have team coverage with our Melissa Kim and Adam Duxter from San Francisco ahead of the NFC Championship matchup between the Packers and the 49ers. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Looking for a quick dinner idea that your family will love? We've got it, so don't go anywhere. If your dinner time routine needs a bit of a jump start, you're gonna love the dish we're making today. It's super easy, budget-friendly, and it tastes amazing. It's what we call Mom's Go-To Weeknight Goulash, and it goes together like this. We start by boiling some elbow macaroni just until it's tender. Then we drain it. And while it sits for a sec, we brown some ground beef with chopped onion and green pepper. Now, depending on what your gang likes, you could always add some mushrooms or a spicier pepper. Once the meat's crumbled and we've drained the drippings, we add the pasta to it, along with a jar of spaghetti sauce and a few spices. We'll give this a good stir and let it simmer for a bit so all the flavors have a chance to come together. Then right before dinner, we'll sprinkle on some shredded cheese, and once that melts, it's ready to serve. The whole thing, from start to finish, is done in less than 30 minutes. Maybe serve it up with a salad and some crusty bread, and you're good to go. The easy recipe for Mom's Go-To Weeknight Goulash is on our website and is ready to be your new go-to recipe when you want something fill you up good. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a weeknight-friendly way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at noon, the wintry weather is making its way into southern Wisconsin. We could see some freezing drizzle this afternoon. Meteorologist Chris Reese has more in your first alert forecast. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. And call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Well, another round of big bank earnings, and why just buy a Baby Yoda when you can build your own. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
Bank of America is out with its quarterly report card and says it earned $7 billion in its latest quarter. That beat expectations thanks to a rebound in trading revenue. Meanwhile, Goldman Sachs is reporting a 26% drop in profit to $1.72 billion. A new report shows that minorities and millennials pay more in bank fees. According to Bankrate.com, the average checking account holder pays $8 a month in fees. Breaking that down by race, white account holders pay $5 a month on average, while Hispanics pay $16 and black customers pay $12. The average millennial also pays more at $13 a month versus just $3 for baby boomers. Food and transportation are among the biggest budget busters for many Americans today. A creditcards.com analysis of government data shows households spend more than $4,400 a year on groceries and over $3,400 on food away from home. Gas costs Americans around $2,100 annually, while public transit users pay an average of $800. And Baby Yoda has taken the nation by storm. Now you'll be able to buy your very own. Build-A-Bear announced that the child, also known as Baby Yoda, is coming to its stores nationwide in a few months. It's not clear how much it will cost. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is up 170 points. The NASDAQ up 38. The S&P 500 up 13. Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Here's Chris. Some wintry mix out there.
That's right. We've been tracking the rounds of the wintry weather earlier on today, Mark. I think we could see more rounds of wintry weather by the time we go through the week. Now, here's what we tracked this morning. A lot of that is moving towards the east as of now, but we still have at least some isolated areas of some flurries out there. I can't rule out freezing drizzle, but down towards Interstate 39, just towards the north and east of Stoughton. That's where you might be running into one little light snow shower. We're seeing some freezing drizzle towards Lake Mills. That's working its way towards Watertown. So if you're going to be on I-94 traveling soon between Madison and places like Oconomowoc and Milwaukee, well, maybe be mindful that there could be a couple of slick spots. We're also watching this area of snow moving towards the east of the Twin Cities throughout northern Wisconsin right now. I do believe that most of that will stay to the north of us. But here's a live look outside right now. Some light snow coming down at the airport. Our temperature is below freezing. It's at 29. That's the reason we've been looking for those slick spots out there. Places like Janesville are now above freezing at 32. We're at the freezing point for Mineral Point, but still things are a little bit colder just to the north and west where you see those temperatures into the mid-20s. So let's put this into motion. Remember, I was talking about that little round of snow that we saw through northern Wisconsin. I do still think that that stays north of Madison, but places like Partyville, Portage, Poynette, up towards Westfield, you may get in on a little bit of snow later on this afternoon. I don't think that's going to be a big deal, but with temperatures below freezing and the freezing drizzle, just be on the lookout for some slick spots. Tonight, that begins to move away. Watch how these temperatures begin to drop. 22 at 11:30 will drop down towards 8 by the time you are waking up tomorrow morning, and then we don't get out of the teens for the highs for Thursday. This is 3:30 Thursday. Temperatures are going to struggle to get beyond 15, but then you factor in the wind, and I think that wind chill is going to be an issue as some kids begin to head to the bus stop tomorrow morning. Make sure you have all the extra layers. Wind chills as cold as -6, down towards -15. In some places, especially as you work your way towards the west. Then towards the afternoon, the warmest part of the day, that wind chill is near 2. So folks, certainly bundle up as you head into tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a quiet day, but then we look towards Friday into Saturday. We have alert days for Friday and Saturday due to the possibility of heavy snow along with a wintry mix getting into the picture. Let's time things out. Those clouds begin to increase late Thursday night into early Friday. The snow will likely be what starts things off. That will not arrive until we get you towards Friday evening. So that Friday evening commute, I will be honest, right now, yes, it looks like there are going to be problems. But watch as we go into Saturday. This is Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning. You see the pink, you see the green. So once again, for the second weekend in a row, southern Wisconsin is going to be right on the edge with the possibility of some precip issues along with the possibility of some freezing rain. This is why you're going to want to make sure that you're following a weather source as we go through the next couple of days so we can try our best to iron that down for you. We'll see the wraparound snow stick around as we go all the way into Saturday afternoon. It's still too early to truly give amounts, but we do have alert days, and it is possible that it could be in excess of 6 inches. We'll see. We'll see. We have a couple more days to fine-tune the details, but nonetheless, after that, we get cold. Temperatures down around 0 in the morning, teens or highs, and then we'll see another chance of snow by the time we get you towards next Thursday and Friday.
All right, a few days off.
A few days off.
Got to remember last weekend.
Yes,
it can move around a little bit.
Everything can change. Everything can change, and I always try to tell people that in weather, I mean, you can be at the last hour and things do change. That's why you should stay abreast of the weather.
Especially in the winter.
Yep.
All right, stay tuned. All right, ahead on News 3 Now at noon, how a little girl from Alaska is helping save the wildlife in Australia. That story after a short break.
For consistent, reliable storm tracking, watch First Alert Weather.
Well, a 5-year-old girl in Alaska is turning her love of painting into a way to help animals in Australia. Sammy Selena has the story.
At 5 5 years old, the most important thing on a kid's mind during an art project, picking out the right color.
Koala.
Kinley is painting koala bears onto rocks.
You're gonna do another koala bear?
But there's a reason why she isn't doing her usual hearts and rainbows.
And it was about the wildfires happening in Australia and different ways to help. So she wanted to know how she could help. And first it started, I could sell my things. Like, she was running around the house looking for things that she could sell.
So her mom posted on Facebook at the request of Kinley.
Kangaroos and koalas, and there was a big fire.
She told everyone she'd paint a rock for a donation to help the wildlife in Australia. She also considers herself a makeup artist and will gladly do a session in exchange for money.
This is a little messy, Mommy.
We never expected this kind of response from everybody. We're up to $1,000 now, which is so crazy.
So you can imagine how busy this artist is.
She has her first appointment, well, her second appointment. Her dad was her first appointment.
Ooh, I like blue. Blue's my favorite color.
She has makeup appointments lined up and more rocks to paint.
I have lots of makeup.
And she hopes all the koalas she's painting will help the real deal.
Good for her. Chris has one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we'll see some clouds sticking around as we go through the afternoon, Mark. I can't rule out some isolated areas of some freezing drizzle, but for the most part, things should be ending. Some sunshine and 17 on Thursday, down to 4 Thursday night. But when you go from 4 to 28, you typically get a lot of precipitation with that warmth. We're watching snow chances Friday night and Saturday.
All right, we'll keep an eye on things. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4.